What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over my favorite way of investing my own money. I would even go as far as saying that this is going to be the easiest, safest, and best long-term strategy for investing for the majority of people. It requires very little work and hardly any skills, and still proves time and time again that this is the best return that majority of investors end up acquiring from this actual type of investing. So if you're excited about this topic and excited to learn about what I'm talking about here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It would really help me with the YouTube algorithm. It only takes like 0.3 seconds and it really helps my channel. So you've probably already seen the actual title of this video, but yes, we're gonna be talking about index fund investing, more specifically some of the beginning steps of the index fund investing, some of the great criteria of it, why it's good. And towards the end of the video, please watch all the way through, or at least skip through it. I'm actually gonna be teaching you the actual funds that I'm investing in, how much percentage of each fund I am investing my money in. In addition to that, on how to actually open up this account. It takes like 20 minutes max, and it's literally, like I mentioned, no skills and saves you a lot of time and headache. And we'll get into that in the video. So first things first, let's go over what exactly an index fund is. So imagine you have $1,000 to invest, and instead of investing $1,000 into an individual stock like Amazon or Tesla or whatever it may be, imagine that you can invest that $1,000 into, let's say, 500 different companies all at once. So this means you own a portion of that 500 different companies all in one fund, which is called an index fund. So essentially, instead of you investing $1,000 into one stock and it going up or down, you're investing $1,000 into 500 different stocks, and some go up, some go down, which really helps you, and let's get into the reasons why. So that specific example I'm referring to is called Vanguard 500 Index Fund. More specifically, I believe that ticker name is called VFIAX, I believe, so don't quote me on that, but you can buy the top 500 publicly traded companies in the United States for as low as like, I think $300 right now. In addition to that, imagine that you can own a small portion of the entire US stock market, which is referred to, I think, VTSAX, which is VTSAX, and that's the ticker name, and I think it's probably around like $80 right now, the last time I checked, that you can own a portion of the entire US stock market altogether. With that out of the way, hopefully you got somewhat of a good context of what an index fund is. Now going into kind of the first advantage of investing in index funds is pretty simple. You make more money investing into an index fund instead of investing into individual stocks. And look, hear me out. There's those one-offs where people buy Amazon at like $12 a share, and now they've triple, quadrupled their actual investment. Well, let's be realistic here, and let's actually dive into some of the statistics of why an index fund is better than buying individual stocks. For example, Warren Buffett, the holy grail of all investors, bet $1 million to the top hedge fund managers that he can outperform their portfolios by just investing into numerous index funds. Over the 15 years that they did that bet and the hedge fund managers continued to work as they do, he outperformed them and won the $1 million bet. So look, if Warren Buffett is gonna sit here and say that he's willing to bet $1 million that he can outperform just by sitting on a computer, investing and holding for 15 years in an index fund rather than having to look at charts, data, earnings, all that stuff, and still win on investments, well, I'm all in. Numerous studies have shown that 92 to 95% of actual investors could not outperform in a 15-year period an actual index fund of investing the same exact way or same exact money. So with all that being said, go ahead and feel free to do your own research on index funds. By all means, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a person on YouTube with my own opinion, something that I actually do. There's numerous studies out there that this is one of the best ways for long-term investments. Going into the second advantage of the index fund investing, which is pretty simple, you can diversify really easily. With an index fund, you can invest in virtually any industry. If you're a cybersecurity industry, you can invest in, which is a really hot industry right now. You can invest into just the top 500 companies of the United States, all the entire US stock market, whatever you want. There's so many other index funds for almost every type of industry. If you wanted to invest in real estate, you can literally buy a REIT, which is literally a portion of real estate that you don't have to manage or you don't have to have any tenants, and you buy a portion of like, apartment buildings, you buy a portion of retail commercial properties and things of that nature, like Walgreens, strips, and all kinds of different things. There's literally an index fund for almost majority, or if not all, of the industries that you're probably interested in. So it's pretty simple. Most of us know what diversification is and why it's somewhat important for investing. For instance, with an index fund, you can have a majority of stocks in that index fund going up, but you can have a small portion that's going down. In that case, you're still making money, even if there's a majority of that, stocks in that index fund going down. So the whole point of that, it's better to own many stocks, right, than just one that can go up and down, right? If you own one, well, then if it goes up, you make money. If it goes down, then you lose all your money. Versus if you own two stocks, for instance, if one goes up, one goes down, you may be close to breaking even, at least not losing all of your money. In other words, long story short, you don't have to worry nearly as much when you're investing. If you lose your money in one area, you're probably going to gain the money back in another area with an index fund. So the great thing about diversification in this sense is that you don't have to worry about charts and news and earnings reports on each individual stock like you do as an individual stock investor, nearly as much, if not at all, with an actual index fund investing strategy, because there's so many stocks that are going to be going up and there's also going to be stocks going down. But in the majority of cases and through a 15-year period, like I mentioned, 92 to 95% of people make more money than people sit at home and do individual stocks. The third advantage of index fund investing, it's super easy. I mean, think about it. I don't have to read charts, earnings reports, data about companies, news, CEOs that are corrupt, whatever it may be. I can literally invest in the top 500 companies of the United States, or the entire or a portion of the entire stock market of the United States, or international markets, and just sit and buy, hold, and keep reinvesting my earnings, or keep buying and holding until, decades down the road. The whole point of doing this is basically a long-term strategy, and this is known to work extremely effectively, especially with the statistics out there, basically laying out why it's better to do this index fund strategy versus individual stock strategy. In addition to that, I don't know about you, but I don't have the time to watch every individual stocks or company's earnings reports, their data, the charts, the trend lines. I don't really have time to do it, although I would love to be that person behind a computer that can just grind it out, buy, sell, and stop losses and limits and all kinds of different stuff like that. But it's just not for me, right? I don't have that time, nor do I kind of want to put in that work in order to do individual stock investments. So index funds, I get to set up an account, literally just put $1,000 in, $500 a month, $300 a month, let it add up and let it go up 15 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road, and cash out when I want. All right, perfect. Now that we got all that out of the way, let's jump into the how-to of setting up an account. It's super easy. I specifically use Vanguard. In no way am I affiliated or have a link down below or making money from talking about Vanguard. I'm literally just a fan of them. I think they're really good, and I think they're really just super easy to use for these actual investment strategies. So let's jump into it. I recommend to starting off just investing regularly into two Vanguard funds. The first fund I'm investing in regularly is the VT Sachs, which you can own a small portion of the entire US stock market. The next fund I invest in regularly is going to be the International Vanguard Fund. I believe that fund, that ticker's name is VTIAX. And so if you look it up, I think it's, you can invest, I think it's like $30 right now. So with that being said, those are the two funds that I'd recommend starting off with. Those are the two funds that I started off with that I continue to contribute to regularly. Now, going into the percentages of, where my money goes for each fund, I usually do 80% in the Vanguard, all of US stock market fund, VT Sachs. In addition to that, I do about 20% in the International Vanguard Fund. And it's pretty simple. All I do is contribute to those funds on an 80 to 20% basis. I literally just buy, hold, invest some more, buy, hold, invest some more, and it's whatever I have a little bit of cash or something that I know that I don't care about in the next 2 decades or a decade or so. I literally just buy and hold, and investing, 80 to 20% on those two individual index funds, and that's all it takes. Literally from your computer, less than 20 minutes. And that's why I love it. It's literally so easy. So getting the Vanguard account is actually super easy. All you do is you go online, you go into Vanguard.com or whatever it's called, and you literally just put in your account information, a little bit of a history and data about you or whatnot, and literally just open up your account. And then from there, you just look for those ticker names, VT Sachs and the international index funds and all that stuff, and you just do your own research on what markets or index funds you want to do investing in, and then you literally invest in a small portion of your money. I'd start off with $500 or $1,000, or start off with $200. It doesn't really matter. As long as you start, that's the best thing to do. So there you have it, the easiest and more efficient way of investing, rather than having to look at data, stocks, charts, and earnings reports. Literally, it doesn't require hardly any skills besides just watching this YouTube video, getting those ticker names that I literally just presented to you, and start investing your money when you have money in these index funds, and literally watching it grow over time. Time and time again, statistically, like I said, do your own research. These index funds are rock solid. The market fluctuates, but so do these index funds. And like I mentioned, with that diversification area and this whole process of investing is really going to help you contribute to your overall investing strategy and long-term wealth. So I hope you liked this video. I hope it was somewhat of a value to you or somebody in your family that you can present it to and talk about it with. If you've liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel. It would help me out a tremendous amount. I want to make more videos like this on how-tos, on how I invest my own money, and I never make a video that I'm not doing myself. And so that's the great thing about why I love investing in the index funds, is because I've seen it work. I'm seeing it work as I go. And it's just a really good experience to be able to present it to you guys, and hopefully you've liked it. So like I mentioned, thumbs up on the video. It would help me a tremendous amount. And look out for more content just like this on MILLIONAIRE TV.